Welcome, everyone. We are going to continue our series where we build strength and mobility to move from sitting on the ground to standing without hands. We're going to need 2 blankets today, or towels, or a blanket and a pillow. Grab 2 cushy things, and then let's meet in an upright seat. Sit any way that feels comfortable. Quiet your eyes, and that might be closing your eyes completely or softening your gaze downward. Rest your hands in your lap any way you like. Let's bring attention to pelvic breathing. As you inhale, your rib cage expands in all directions. Imagine your pelvic bowl also expanding in all directions. As you exhale, your pelvic bowl hugs inward, your rib cage hugs inward. As you inhale, your rib cage expands, your diaphragm descends down. As you exhale, your diaphragm ascends back upward as your rib cage hugs inward. We're going to continue just like this. Notice this downward movement as you inhale, like a piston in the central core of your body, moving down as you inhale. And this movement lifting up as you exhale. Let's take another full breath all together, feeling rib cage expand, pelvic bowl expand, diaphragm descend down, pelvic floor muscles lengthen down. And then a full exhale, pelvic floor muscles dome toward abdomen, diaphragm ascends upward toward skull. As you're ready, widen your eyes, and we'll continue as we practice resourcing pelvic breath. We're going to move to an upright windshield wipers, and I'm going to suggest here we get a little extra padding underneath our legs just for cushion. If you're on cushiony carpet, you're welcome to skip the padding. Let's rest back on our hands, take feet wide, knees bent up toward the ceiling, and then we're going to rock knees side to side for an upright windshield wipers. Part of our mobility and strength focus in this series is hip rotation, which is what you're doing right now. One hip is moving internally, other hip is rotating externally. So let's really invite as much range of motion as your hips allow right now. Drop your knees down toward the ground. You can kind of help them down a little bit. Yeah, great. Okay, now we're going to add on to this. We're going to take the knees to the right. Keep your right hand rooted as you reach through your left arm. Stretch long through your left arm. Spread your shoulder blade away from your spine. You can lean forward. You can round in your spine a little bit. You don't have to keep your canister stacked. And then let's come back to center. Knees to the left. Keep your left hand rooted and reach through that right arm. Reach over to your left, stretch long, and just adjust this to whatever feels good for you. Let's keep going. We're going to take knees to right and then stretch left arm long. You can adjust your back hand as you need. Keep flowing on your own. That's it. Yeah. Now let's bring in some attention to pelvic breath. So we're inhaling, inviting the rib cage to expand in all directions. Pelvic bowl expands and deepens. Then we exhale. Can you feel a little lift at the base of your pelvic bowl as your pelvic floor muscles dome toward your abdomen? Couple more. Last one. All right, let's come back to center and we are going to take our blanket, second blanket perhaps, underneath our head as a pillow. Please lie on your right side and you're going to stack your legs and your hips. Good. Okay, you're going to get a pillow, stack legs and hips, rest your bottom arm any way you want. And then the hips are going to be at about 45 degrees. So, not directly in front of your pelvis. Move them away from your head a smidge. Open the angle of your hips. And then let's take left hand to left side of pelvis. So, top hand to top side of pelvis. You're on your right side. And then you're going to lift your left leg up, hovering above your right. Okay, great. So now we're going to keep the pelvis still. We're going to use some gentle abdominal engagement to do that and just work on moving the legs. Take your left heel to touch your right as you reach your left knee up toward the ceiling. You're doing this external rotation and hip abduction without moving your pelvis, without rocking the top of your pelvis back. Now you're going to lift your left heel up and take your left knee to your right knee, internally rotating and adducting your hip. So let's keep going. We're externally rotating, we're internally rotating, and we're trying to keep the pelvis still so it's not rocking. You got it. And we're going in as great a range as we have available. So once you hit your end range, can you pause and can you go a little bit more? So as your knee is lifted, maybe you feel some engagement around your buttock, behind your hip joint, underneath your buttock, your deep six external rotators. As your knee is drawing down to meet your right, maybe you feel a little bit more engagement toward your outer and front hip, gluteus medius, TFL. All right, so we're going to keep going. We're working our end range. Good. Heels are touching, just the top leg is moving, knees are touching, or as close as you can get. Now, if you want to keep your hand here on the hip just to help you notice if it's stable, you may keep it there or rest your arm in front. Yeah. Okay, are you feeling your rotators work? I'm feeling my rotators work right now. Let's breathe. Let's welcome breath to flow into the turtle shell of your back rib cage. Feel your pelvic bowl expand and deepen. Great. As you exhale, feel the base of your pelvic bowl, your pelvic floor muscles lift and dome toward your abdomen. Okay, few more. Go nice and slow. Yeah. Now let's hold that external position. So externally rotate. You're in the knee lifted, heels touching position. Pause here. Can you keep moving in that direction? Keep engaging those muscles that are doing this action without anything funky happening. Like you don't need to grip your low back. You do not need to grip your jaw or do anything funky with your tongue. Let's breathe. Let's breathe into turtle shell. Pelvic bowl deepens. Ooh, full exhale. Nice work. Lower the top knee down. And then we're going to take the pillow that's underneath the head, put it between the legs for a twist. This is your little break after all that good strength. Hug your knees up towards your chest, stretch your arms out in front, and then circle your left arm overhead and open to the left. Adjust this twist any way you need. So that might be hugging your knees up or anchoring your legs with your right hand. Maybe you take your left hand behind your head as a little pillow. Notice your experience of pelvic breathing here. All right, it's time to roll over to the left side. Yes, that's what we're doing. Left side, please. Stack your legs, hug your knees up toward your pelvis a bit, but they are not directly in front of the pelvis. Your hips are at 45. Bottom arm can rest however it needs to rest. And then let's take right hand to right side of pelvis, top hand to top side of pelvis. So we're going to keep the pelvis stacked. So if your knees are like this right in front of your pelvis, move your knees away from your head a little bit so you have less hip flexion. Good. And then let's hover right leg. Here, we're going to take right heel down to touch the left, lifting the right knee up. Yep. And then right foot up, touch your right knee to meet your left. You got it. Let's keep going. Externally rotate, internally rotate. That's great. We are keeping the pelvis still and we're going really slow. Chelsea, if you can slow it down, if that works for you, I would suggest that. It's more time under tension just means we're going to have to work harder when it's slow. Okay, good. We're breathing into turtle shell. Breathe into pelvis. Focus on the feeling of your back body expanding as you breathe in, your pelvic bowl deepening as you breathe in. And notice, are your pelvic floor muscles moving as you do this refined hip action? Or have they just locked everything down? Our pelvic floor muscles moving well is really important for our hip health. So, we are encouraging some movement of pelvic floor by bringing attention to that feeling of maybe the piston moving down in the central core of your body. Or maybe the balloon imagery is working better for your brain and nervous system and body. Continue to resource those tools. You're doing great. If you want to rest your top hand, you're welcome to. And let's check in. Is anything funky happening with jaw, with tongue, low back? We have a little gentle abdominal engagement to stabilize the pelvis, and we're really resourcing these hip rotators. Everything else can stay pretty chill. At least that's the idea. So keep going. Great. Really good pacing, everyone. Okay, we're going to hold the lifted knee position. So we're externally rotating that top hip. We are working our end range without rocking the top hip back. So we're lifting that knee without rocking the top foot back. Breathe into your turtle shell. Breathe into your pelvis. You're imagining maybe that balloon in your pelvic bowl expanding. Full exhale. Keep lifting that right knee. You're doing good. One more inhale. Holy moly. Okay, exhale and lower your knee down. That's a lot of work. We are going to come into the twist. Take a blanket between your knees, ankles, and feet. Hug your knees up towards your chest. Stretch your arms out in front of your chest and then circle your right arm overhead, open to your right. You may be adjusting this by adjusting your legs or taking your right hand behind your head. Notice your experience of pelvic breath here. All right. Let's release that. Come to your hands and knees. Get rid of all your blankets. set them aside, and then come to tabletop and start to flow through some rounds of cow and cat. And notice your experience of pelvic breath here. Now we're going to do a little experiment. We're going to imagine the abdominals are the only muscles that can do these cow cat actions and start to do that. As you exhale, let's shush round into cat. Shh. Feel your abdominals gather in and round, round, round. Abdominals gather in. Then keep your abdominals strong. As you inhale, breathe into your turtle shell, move into cow, but your abdominals are governing that movement. That's what we're imagining. Then, as you exhale, round into cat. Breathe any way you like. Feel your abdominals gather in and round your spine. Then, keep your abdominals strong and long as you reach your sternum forward, your pubic bone away from your navel. Then, as you exhale, you're drawing your pubic bone and your sternum toward your navel. One more time, like this. It becomes a little abdominal exercise when we do it like this. Please come back to center. Then let's come to plank pose. You can walk hands forward or feet back as you need. Come to plank. Press your hands down, spread your shoulder blades wide, breathe into your turtle shell. Exhale any way you like. Keep pressing your hands down. Feel the strength of your abdomen gather in. As you inhale to your turtle shell, your kidneys expand. Good. Another inhale here. Then as you exhale, knees down, lower all the way down. Point your toes, slide your elbows underneath your shoulders for Sphinx. Strong legs, strong glutes. Press your elbows down, reach up through your crown. Without moving your forearms, drag them back. All right, we're going to breathe here together for a few moments. Let's bring attention to turtle shell rib cage breath. Feel pelvic bowl expand and deepen. As you exhale, pelvic floor muscles dome toward your abdomen, rib cage hugs inward. With your next exhale, widen your elbows, lower your chest, slide your hands back, downward facing dog. Press up through tabletop or plank pose. Okay, stretch long in your down dog. Steady your gaze between your feet, or maybe your eyes are closed. You have as much lift in your heels and bend in your knees as you need to find a real long spine. Then let's relax neck all the way and bring attention to pelvic breath. As you inhale, imagine your pelvic balloon inflating, your pelvic floor muscles lengthen, your bowl deepens. Then, as you exhale, your pelvic floor muscles shorten and dome toward your abdomen as your pelvic balloon deflates and your whole pelvic bowl hugs inward. All right, please look between your palms, walk your feet forward, come to standing forward fold. We're going to bend knees a lot, rest abdomen on thighs, grab your opposite arms, and relax your neck. Your abdomen is compressed here, so you may notice even more turtle shell expansion, even more pelvic bowl expansion, pelvic floor muscle lengthening as you breathe in. We're going to roll up, press your feet down, strong legs and glutes as you relax your arms and your neck. Roll all the way up. Once you're all the way up, I'm going to show you an upcoming vinyasa. You're going to combine a couple things that you've been doing previously, and then we'll do it together. So just a quick visual. We are going to combine slow walking, where we shush, shh, wait until we feel the abdomen turn on, and then we lift the knee as high as it goes without moving the pelvis. So we're going to keep our canister stacked as much as we can as we lift the knee up. Then we're going to step back into a lunge, this kind of squatty lunge where our knee is moving forward of our ankle and we're trying to draw the back knee down toward the ground as far as we go. Then we're going to go back to shushing back up to hip flexion. And we're going to inhale to step it down. So we're going to use our breath, go real slow through these movements. You get to decide how much you're bending your knee. Maybe you step back like this, maybe you step back like this. So you get to play with that. If you need support, you can go to a wall or a piece of furniture, have one hand on that. If you're standing in the middle of the room, you can come to the top of your mat, take your hands to your hips. Steady your gaze ahead, and lower than eye level will be helpful for your balance. But instead of tilting your head forward, let's just move the eyeballs and keep the canister stacked. Let's shift weight over to the right. We're going to exhale without doing anything. Then inhale here. Exhale, shush, feel your abdomen hug in, and then your left knee follows all the way up. Shh. We're going to inhale to step back into the lunge. Then we're going to exhale back to shush, lift that left knee up. Shh. And inhale, step back down, shift over to the left. Exhale, shush, abdomen hugs in, and then your knee follows. This is like your abdominal exercises. Lift it all the way up. Then inhale, you're stepping that right foot back into a lunge. You're bending your knees as much as your body wants. Great. Then exhale, steady gaze, feel your left footprint. Shift forward. Shh. Abdomen hugs in as you lift that knee. Then you inhale, step it down, shift to your right. Exhale, shush, knee up. Inhale, step back to lunge, slow. Feel your right footprint. Exhale, shush, abdomen hugs in, left knee up. Feel right footprint as you lift your knee. Then inhale to step it down. Shift to your left. Let's keep going. Shifting to the left, exhale, shush, right knee lifts. Then we're going to inhale, step it back. Good. Exhale, shush, lift it back up. Shh. Inhale, step that right foot down. Let's add in arms. We're going to shift to the right. Exhale, lift your left knee up. Shh. Abdomen's hugging in the whole time. Then inhale, step back as you reach your arms forward. Exhale, hands to hips. Your abdomen hugs in. Shh. Yes, good. And then inhale, step it down. Keep going like that. Just go at your own pace. Shh. Really wait until you feel the strength of your abdominals, then leg follows. Really good. Yes. You can reach those arms forward as you step back if that feels useful. Shh. Slow like you're moving through molasses. This will slow your breath down. That'll be good too. We're going to keep going. Great. Okay, so we have one more. And then you can pause, standing, keep going. You're doing really good. Great balance. Once you're all done with that last one, congratulations. Let's do a standing floppy twist. Let your whole body participate and flow side to side. After all of that holding and stacking of your canister, we're just going to get floppy. You can keep your head facing straight forward, or you could let your head follow your chest. Maybe your hands and arms are tapping into you, maybe not. In a moment, we're going to let go of muscle effort, let momentum continue. Try not to interrupt your momentum, and then watch the momentum of your body slowly transform into stillness. Okay, so we're going to let go of muscle effort, let momentum take over. Watch the momentum of your body slowly transform into stillness. All right, then you may widen your eyes. We are going to do a couple more things down on the ground before Shavasana, but it is a good time to turn those lights down. If you do that, get your lights down. We want padding on our mat and a good amount of it. So open up a blanket, get some extra padding. We're going to be rolling around, and I want your knees, ankles, and feet to be padded. So once you have your space set up for the rest of your practice and padding, I'm going to show you what's up next. We are going to practice an upright windshield wipers to kneeling. So this is an exciting transition, which is going to help you stand upright. So you can see I'm doing this without hands. This is certainly an option, but you know what? Hands help us get there. So you might have hands down on the ground as you make this transition. A couple things to note. Knees are not at 90 degrees. Feet will be closer to your body. You will have more flexion in your knees in order to do that transition to lift up. And you may reach forward or lean forward a little bit as you're trying to get up. That will help you. So we're not trying to go straight up. We're going to lean forward, we're going to reach, or we're going to put the hands down and lift. So let's try it. Let's take hands behind, knees up. We're going to hug the feet in a little closer, knees to the right. Maybe you take that left hand forward, your right hand behind you, lean forward, you press them down to lift, or maybe you lift your hands up and you don't use your hands. Then you're going to sit back down. You're going to lift your knees up. You're going to go to the left and then lean forward, press down to lift up. Look at you. Yes. And then lower. So again, booty back. I'm kind of leaned forward with the torso to lower and then flip. So we're just going to keep going. Now, if there's any knee pain, you can not lift up. Maybe you don't lift up all the way, or maybe you just rock side to side without your hands. This is a great practice, rocking side to side without hands. And you could also try activating your feet and ankles. So sometimes kind of pressing through my heels can feel useful just to create a little tension there so they're not so like loosey goosey. So you can just play around with things like this. Yeah. So feel your bridge butt muscles working, whoop, squeeze that butt as you lift up. Feel your bridge butt muscles, whoop, lifting you up. Look at you. Great. Okay, let's just do this a couple more times. And I am kind of going fast. You don't have to go this fast. I should go slower. I just told you that it's harder to do things like this slower. So maybe I should slow it down. Good. Are you breathing? You're doing great. You might be moving all around. My blanket's getting all shoved around. Let's do this two more times. Great, you did it. Very nice, very nice. Okay. I'm going to suggest just One more thing before Shavasana. Take a lift underneath your pelvis. So a pillow or a folded blanket under your pelvis. We're going to hug right knee into chest. Take your right knee over to your right and then extend your left leg straight. Little hip flexor stretch for your left side. That's good. And so here with your right knee, you can grab your leg however you want. I have my hand actually behind my knee joint and I'm kind of like holding my thigh, resting my elbow on the ground over to my right side. Maybe that's how your body works, maybe not. You can adjust what you need. If you want to reach your left arm long next to your left ear, you may, or you can rest your arm out to your side. We just got a couple breaths here. So let's get some nice length through that left leg, the left front hip. And then we're going to switch. Plant your right foot down, hug your left knee into your chest. Maybe you grab a hold of the back of your thigh or your shin, however you want to grab it. Take your left knee over to your left. Maybe you're resting your left elbow down on the ground, maybe not. And then extend your right leg. You can reach long through that right side or keep that right leg relaxed. And then if you want to reach your right arm next to your right ear, you can, or just rest your arm. All right, it's time to release that and come into Shavasana. You may plant both feet down, lift your pelvis up, and slide the pillow out from underneath. And then come into whatever shape feels restful as you're practicing Shavasana. Continue to rest into the experience of pelvic breathing without any effort needed. We're just noticing how breathing deeply with the diaphragm allows the pelvic floor muscles to move with every breath we take. If the balloon or the piston imagery feels useful, use it. When you notice your mind has wandered off and you're thinking, planning, ruminating, come back to pelvic breathing. Rest your thinking mind and tend to your body. you may begin to deepen your breath. Bring movement into your body as you're ready. And in your own time, in your own way, you may come to sit. So, with quiet eyes, we'll join hands together in prayer. Exhale everything out. As you inhale, you're receiving all of the nourishment from your practice. And as you exhale, have the intention of offering the benefit of your practice then outwardly to others. As you're ready, you may release your hands and widen your eyes. Thank you so much for practicing with me today.